The story of Jesus and the wooden bridge, the journey to peace. One day, after Jesus and his disciples crossed the old, shaky wooden bridge over a fast-flowing river, they continued their journey through a dense forest. The group walked in silence, still reflecting on the lesson they had just learned. Simon, who was still pondering what Jesus had shared, finally decided to ask another question. "Master, after crossing that wooden bridge, I feel as though the difficulties in life are no longer so frightening. But how can we be sure that we will always overcome all challenges?" Jesus smiled gently, stopped for a moment, and then turned to look at Simon. "You have crossed that bridge and learned that fear is just a temporary feeling. But there is something else you must understand. In life, there will be challenges that cannot be avoided. These challenges come not to harm us, but to help us grow. Come, follow me, and I will tell you a story." Curious, Simon and the other disciples stopped and listened carefully to Jesus. He continued, "There was once a farmer who lived in a remote village. The farmer had a very strong horse, but one day, the horse suddenly ran away. The villagers came to visit and said, 'This is truly a terrible misfortune for you. Your horse has run away.' The farmer calmly replied, 'Perhaps it is, perhaps it isn't.' The villagers were surprised by the farmer's calm response, but a few days later, the horse returned, bringing with it another wild horse. This time, the villagers came again and said, 'How wonderful! You're so lucky to have another horse.' The farmer replied, 'Perhaps it is, perhaps it isn't.' A week later, the farmer's son was riding the wild horse, and the horse unexpectedly threw him to the ground, causing him to break his leg. The villagers came again, lamenting, 'How unfortunate for you! Your son is injured.' The farmer still replied, 'Perhaps it is, perhaps it isn't.' A few weeks later, the king's soldiers came to the village to recruit strong young men for the army. When they saw the farmer's son with a broken leg, they did not recruit him. And so, the farmer was able to rest easy knowing that his son was spared from the war. The villagers said, 'How lucky you are that your son did not have to go to war.' The farmer once again replied, 'Perhaps it is, perhaps it isn't.' Jesus paused from telling the story and looked at his disciples. "Life is like this, Simon. You see, sometimes in life, we cannot immediately see the meaning behind each event. What we may think of as misfortune might bring about something good, and what we see as good fortune might lead to challenges. Therefore, do not judge too quickly, and do not let small events disturb your peace of mind." Simon pondered Jesus' story, and everyone in the group could feel a sense of calm in their hearts. They continued walking through the forest, and it seemed as if all their worries had melted away. The story of the farmer and his horse helped them understand that challenges in life were not necessarily bad. They were opportunities to learn and grow. A few days later, as Jesus and his disciples were walking toward a village, they came across a blind man sitting by the side of the road. The blind man could not see the sunlight, but he still had a peaceful smile on his face. Jesus stopped and approached the blind man. "Would you like to be healed?" Jesus asked. The blind man responded, still looking straight ahead. "Master, I do not know what life would be like if I could see, but I have learned to live without the light of my eyes. My life may be dark, but I still feel the love and warmth of those around me." Jesus smiled and said, "The love and peace of God are always present in every heart, regardless of external conditions. You have seen the world with a different kind of light, the light of your heart. That is what matters most." After Jesus prayed and touched the blind man's eyes, a miracle happened. He could see the sunlight for the first time in years. However, what surprised him most was not the ability to see, but the peace he had already felt before his sight was restored. Jesus turned to his disciples and said, "Sometimes healing does not come from miracles alone, but from the faith and attitude of each person. Peace does not always come from external things. It comes from within each heart." Lessons learned. Every challenge has a reason. The story of the farmer and his horse teaches us that we should not be quick to judge an event in our lives. Each challenge or hardship may bring valuable lessons, and good things may come from the unexpected. Peace is a choice. Love and peace are not always found in external circumstances. They come from appreciating what we have and living with an open heart. Like the blind man, He was able to feel love and warmth despite not being able to see. Faith in oneself and in God helps us overcome all challenges. Even in difficult times, we must trust that God will guide us. Trials are temporary, and our faith is the strength that helps us stand firm. Life is a journey of learning. Every day brings new opportunities for learning and growth. Do not fear challenges, for each step, whether difficult or easy, is a part of the life journey that God has planned for us.